February 17th, 2026. I've been fasting seriously since October 2025. Before then, I dabbled in it here and there, not taking it serious. All because of my addiction to food and everything delicious that comes across us on the daily basis on almost every corner of where we live. Addiction is not easy. Everybody wants to do better, be healthier, live longer. But with so much temptation, and now the battle against addiction is 1 trillion times more difficult to actually stick to your guns. On our next video, I'll take a deep look into the psychology of food addiction. Remember, I'm not or your nutritionist or doctor. I'm just a random blue-collar working bus driver who's found something that works for him. I'm sitting here today at 50+ years of age with a 32-inch waist, and I no longer have achy joints and muscles. And I know it's all because of fasting and my OMAD journey. Like and subscribe. The $1 Investor. Everybody wants the benefits of intermittent fasting, fat loss, mental clarity, discipline, but most people quit. Not because fasting doesn't work, but because they don't understand what they're really fighting. It's not hunger, it's addiction and conditioning. Addiction is the real problem. Dr. Jamnadas explains that most people fail because they're not actually hungry. They're addicted. Key concept: we're addicted to constant stimulation from food. Sugar and processed carbs create dopamine spikes. When you fast, withdrawal kicks in. Headaches, irritability, fatigue. This isn't starving. This is your body recalibrating. Now to relate it to discipline and money. It's the same reason most people can't invest long-term. They're addicted to instant gratification. Just like junk food gives you a quick hit, spending gives you a quick hit. When I started building my pensions, UFCW, Teamsters, AC Transit ATU, that didn't happen overnight. It was consistency, discipline, delayed gratification. Now to make it clear, fasting exposes your lack of discipline, and that's uncomfortable. Eating too often breaks your hormones. The second reason people fail, they never let insulin drop. If you eat every 2 to 3 hours, insulin stays elevated. Your body never switches to fat-burning mode. You stay metabolically dependent on food. Your body was designed to go without food. Humans didn't evolve snacking every hour. We've been trained to believe we'll collapse if we skip a meal. But your great-grandparents weren't carrying protein bars. Just like money needs time to compound, your body needs time without food to heal. Like and subscribe. The $1 Investor. You ever notice how everybody talks about intermittent fasting? But most people quit? They say it's too hard. They say they get headaches. They say they feel weak. But the truth? It's not hunger that makes people fail. It's addiction. I was watching a talk from Dr. Pradip Jamnadas, and he broke it down in a way that makes perfect sense. He said the #1 reason people fail at intermittent fasting is addiction. Not starvation, not biology. Addiction. Let that sink in. Most people aren't hungry every 3 hours. They're conditioned. We've trained ourselves to eat because it's noon. Eat because we're bored. Eat because we're stressed. Eat because food is there. And when you remove that constant stimulation, your body reacts. You get irritated. You get tired. You get headaches. That's not your body dying. That's withdrawal. Sugar spikes dopamine. Processed carbs spike dopamine. Constant snacking keeps that reward system firing all day long. So when you fast, you're not fighting hunger, you're fighting dependency. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. Discipline feels like suffering when you're not used to it. But let me tell you something. That same addiction to instant gratification is why most people are broke. Same mechanism. People can't delay pleasure. They can't skip the snack. They can't skip the purchase. They can't skip the lifestyle upgrade. Everybody wants financial freedom, but nobody wants to sacrifice for it. When I was working and building my pensions, UFCW, Teamsters, AC Transit ATU, that wasn't exciting. That was discipline. That was showing up. That was consistency. That was thinking long term. Freedom is built in boring seasons, and fasting exposes whether you can handle boring discomfort. Now let's talk about the second reason people fail. Insulin. Most people never let their insulin drop. They wake up and eat. Snack mid-morning, lunch, snack, dinner, dessert. Your body never gets a break. Insulin is a storage hormone. If insulin is elevated, your body is not burning fat, it's storing. When you eat every 2 to 3 hours, you never switch into fat-burning mode. You never tap into stored energy. Your body was designed to survive periods without food. Human beings didn't evolve with protein bars in their pockets. We evolved through cycles of feast and famine. But modern society eliminated the famine part. Now we think skipping one meal is an emergency. It's not. It's a reset. And here's the bigger lesson. Your body needs time without food to heal, just like money needs time without interruption to compound. If you invest $1 a day and you don't touch it, it grows. If you constantly withdraw, constantly interrupt, constantly chase comfort, it never builds. Your metabolism works the same way. When you give it space, it adapts. When you constantly feed it, it stays dependent. So what actually works? You don't jump into 20-hour fasts on day one. You start simple. 12 hours, then 14, then 16. Hydrate, water, black coffee, electrolytes. Understand this. The discomfort is temporary. Your body adjusts. And once it does, clarity increases. Energy stabilizes. Cravings drop. But here's the real reason I'm making this video. This isn't just about food. This is about identity. If you can't skip a meal, how are you going to skip impulse spending? If you can't handle short-term discomfort, how are you going to handle long-term investing? If you can't tell yourself no for 16 hours, how are you going to tell yourself no for 5 years while building wealth? The discipline transfers. Health discipline becomes financial discipline. Financial discipline becomes life discipline. The problem isn't fasting. The problem is we've built lives around comfort. And comfort never built freedom. Freedom is built through controlled discomfort. Skipping a meal won't kill you, but a lack of discipline will slowly rob you of everything you want. Your health, your money, your options. Everybody wants to be financially independent. Everybody wants to be healthy, but nobody wants to sacrifice. So here's the question. Are you actually hungry? Or are you just uncomfortable? There's a difference. And once you understand that difference, everything changes. Even if just one of you listens to this, applies it, builds discipline in your health and your money. This message was worth making. Like and subscribe. The $1 Investor.